Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The reggae pioneer, Lee Scotch Perry, who was the producer of Bob Marley, has passed away at 85, ladies and gentlemen. The reggae industry mourns. Greetings in the name of the Most High, Emperor Haile Selassie I the First. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm Rastafari, Soldier of Deep Roots TV, and if this is your first time tuning in, I'm asking you, go ahead, hit that red subscribe button, and we'll have a great relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, the reggae industry mourns today as the legendary pioneer and producer of some of Bob Marley's greatest hits has passed away at 85. It's an unfortunate and a sad, shocking news for the industry. Lee Scotch Perry, an enigmatic revolutionary Jamaican producer, songwriter, and performer whose influence extends beyond far his historical role and development of reggae music, died Sunday at the hospital of Lucia, Jamaica, at 85 years old. No cause of death has been reported as yet, ladies and gentlemen, and the world is taking this with shock as condolences pour in. The news was confirmed in a tweet from the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Andrew Holness, ONPV. Yeah, deeply hurt, and my deep condolences to the family, friends, and the fans of the legendary recording producer, singer, Rainford Hugh Perry, OD, affectionately known as Lee Scotch Perry, Holness wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is shocked at this time. The duty that Perry has provided for the world internationally and domestically in Jamaica is going to be missed. Perry was a pioneer in the 1970s, developing the dub music with early adoption of studio effects to create new instrumental existing in reggae tracks even up to today. He has worked with and produced for various artists, including Bob Marley, ladies and gentlemen, and the Wailers and the Congos, Adrian Sherwood and the Beastie Boys, the many other legendary artists. This is a man that's a pillow in the industry, not just the reggae industry, but musical world, ladies and gentlemen. Undoubtedly, Lee Scotch Perry will always be remembered for his sterling contribution to the music and his fanatics. Many of these people that he have held has become legends in the music. Holness said, may his soul rest in peace. Many condolences continue to pour in. Perry made his name in the 1960s, ladies and gentlemen, and 70s by producing some of the most cutting-edge reggae artists with upstanding, character. His Upsetter label, helping establishing many of the genres of the greats like Wailers. As a performer, he won Grammy for Best Reggae Album in 2003 for his recording of Jamaican E.T. Musicians from many genres quickly began weighing in on Perry's importance. Lee Scotch Perry, more than important figure in the music of the 28th century, tweeted the band The Mountain Goats. He expanded vocabulary of Studio One, lived as his life as a great gem, leaving a legacy behind, playing his music for your kids. See how instantly they love it. It's universally. Safe travel home to God. Kenneth Richard is among the among the rockers who had weighed in on Perry over the years, telling about his great accomplishment in the Rolling Stone in 2010. He could never put your finger on Lee Scotch Perry. He is a Salvador Dali of music. He is a mystery man. The world is his instrument. You just have to listen more than a producer. He's how to inspire an artist soul like Phil Spector. He has a gift not only to hear the sound coming from nowhere else, but also translating those sounds to the musician's scratch. Is a shaman. Perry had little doubt of his own significance in the music world. I'm the best recording producer the Jamaican have seen. Many say that I am the best in the world, he said in 1984. Ladies and gentlemen, a legendary man has passed. A pillar has crumbled in the house of the entertainment home, ladies and gentlemen. Even in a form that has some eccentricism, right? Perry particularly stood out. Being a madman is a good thing, Perry told the Rolling Stone in 2010 profile. It keeps people away. When they think you are crazy, they don't come around and take your energy, making you weak. I'm the upsetter, he said, alluding back to the 1968 single of that name. Active personally from 61 to the end of his days, Perry was an international big nickname. Scratch, draw from a chicken scratch, the little of the early morning cut of Clement Coxon Dub Studio One label, and the upsetter springing off the 1969 single I'm the Upsetter in the stinging slap at his former dub boss, Dub, right? After a long anticipated work of Dub and a permanent producer, Joe Gibbs, Perry stepped out on his own in 1968. One of the first release on his fleeting label, Upsetter, later Upsetter, was People Funny Boy. The song, a sharp put down of Joe Gibbs' role, a slow, heavy, accented rhythm sparked by music with Perry heard in local Pokemon church. That was the new beginning. The island's popular music, still dominated by up-tempo sound of ska and rocksteady, a local sensation that reached out on the chart in England after releasing their by Trojan record. It is considered one of very first reggae recording. He broke further into the international market with series of ska influential instruments releasing under the Upsetter handle with spaghetti western inspired title. The biggest of those was the return of the Django. You hear me, people? Which climbed the British chart on the back of its use in the television spot of Cadbury Chocolate Bar. Perry's most productive creative alliance came in 1970 when he convened with the vocal trio he had worked with in Studio One, the Wailers. On their session, he produced for Perry's Upsetter imprint. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer hardened their sound, and they become one of Jamaica's group to be reckoned with and the outspoken champion in Rastafari beliefs. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure to serenade such a legendary icon, a master of producer, a master of sound, an artist. Though the association later lasts just a few years, the Wailer recorded for Perry provided to be the foundation of the group's reputation. Those compositions, some of them written with a refined but Perry included small acts, Keep On Moving, Trench Town, Concrete Jungle, 400 Year, Kaya. All of these work were recorded by Island Record in the rough gauge to reggae. Historian Steve Barrow noted that the Upsetter side confirmed not only the fulfillment of the future of the Wailers' songwriting and interpretation of power, but also a new stance in Jamaican music, unmistakably throughout the system, yet stimulating spirituality. Marley and Perry maintained a close yet highly velocity in professional and in their personal relationship until the reggae superstar death of cancer in 1981. Perry collaboration with such later songs of Jaliv, posthumous tribute to Emperor Haile Selassie the icon Rastafari, Yagan T, and the cross-gen celebration, Punky Reggae Party. Perry wrapped up significant UK hits in the early 70s with stunning production for the gifted tribute vocalist Junior Biles, Beat Down Babylon, A Place Called Africa, Curly Locks, and singer Susan Cadogan, a chart topper, covers of Millie Jackson, Hurt So Good. He also was a crucial figure in the development of the homegrown art of the dub, which involved the stepping of the vocals of precious and release recording trends and instrumental beds with variety of overworld effect. Perry served as dozens of unique dub play to Jamaican sound system, dancehall, the Upset of 14 dub, Blockbuster Jungle, a 1973 collaboration with renowned mixer King Tubby was one of the first standalone dub LP, and it helps ignite a subgenre of its own. In 1974, Perry established his own Fable studio, wired up by Tubby in his home at 5th Cardiff Crescent in the middle-class Kingston suburb of Washington Gates. The Black Ark 4-track board, Epilogue, Delay, and Roland Echo Phaser combined created a wealth of music sounds in producer skilled hand. In the reggae history, bass culture, Lord Barrel wrote, unfrettingly by the experience, Lee could literally do what he liked, and he's almost perpetually a rhythm building, tune, discontecting, or extending originator idea of what way he wants to put his lyrics. His logics just stop people in their place. In a place where the instrument took the outstanding echoes, Perry told the British critics that music, David Topper, the studio must be like living thing. The machine must be living and intelligent. When I make music, I think of life, creating life, and that's what I want to do, live. I want to feel good and taste good. In 1976, 1977, Perry produced some of the most original reggae albums over the world, and which was released by Island in UK and US. Max Romeo, War in a Babylon, The Heptones, Party Time, Junior Marvin, Police and Thief. The topical track is about fighting against the system. Ladies and gentlemen, George Fate, To Be a Love, and Perry owned unclassifiably combination of vocals and dub with Super 8. The world has seen the godfather of the reggae music. The world began beating a path to the door of Perry during 1970. Paul and Lindy McCarthy, Robert Palmer, and John Martin recorded The Black Ark. That's his studio. And the Clash flew Perry to London to produce their single, Complete Control. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. However, by 1978, Perry was showing signs of serial mental instability. Some of it fueled by the heavy abuse of potent ganja, Alida and white rum. Maybe he was living a prestigious, precious life of existence. Local gangsters were downing him for protection money and an unwelcome cult of Naya Bingo, devoted Rastafarian, had started squatting on his property. Important relationship dissolved. He broke sharply with Island after label chief Chris Blackwell refused to issue the Congo's Heart of the Congo, now considering the producer masterwork. And two of Perry's solo albums in 1979, his common law wife Pauline Morris left him for a member of the vocal group The Meditation, which he had produced. Several years of global trotting and abandoned behavior climaxed with Perry's incarceration, defacement, and destruction of Black Ark, which finally burned to the ground in 1983. He would later tell both his biographer David Katz and Lord Burleigh that he himself had torched the studio. It burned. Now I am free again. I have never regretted that moment, he told Variety Contribution AD Amor Rose. I would not have ever been free. No wicked spirit. I have to stay away from vampires. Yeah, I real that. Yet, Perry proved unstoppable. He still displayed a continuous perpetuation of creating music in the industry. He attacked Chris Blackwell when he had released the 1984 album History, Mystery, and Prophecy. In a diabolical plot, in 1985, the single Judgment in a Babylon of the association with Bob Marley, Perry told NME, "We worked like brother till Chris Blackwell saw it was something great and come like a big hawk and grab Bob Marley up." Collaborators flocked to him during a 5-year sojourn in England, and his life gained some stability after his Swiss wife-to-be, Marilyn Campbell, weaned him off marijuana. Weaned him off marijuana and alcohol in the late 80s. His second act proved nearly as prolific as his first. He recorded with such, explicit and important artists as British Mad Professor Neil Fraser, Adair Sherwood, and Daniel Bowen, American Bill Laswell and Andrew W.K., the UK electronic duo and Orby, the Brooklyn collective Subatomic Sound System, and even old Jamaican compatriot Niney and Bulky. In 2003, he received his only Grammy out of 5 nominees as the self-producer Jamaica E.T. was named the best reggae album. Ladies and gentlemen, though he torched international into the 80s, scattering, widely cutting mad fingers, his bespoken, glittering costume, and often flashing a color of dread beads, Perry is best remembered for his voluminous category and his catalogs of recording. A 2010 discography ran to nearly 300 lost format pages. He issued more than 70 studio and live albums under his own name. And his early work made mine heavily for reissuing for Trojan, Pressure Sound, Heartbeat, Island, Blood and Fire, and Dr. Bird. The market was also flooded with intimate and intelligent releases bearing Upstepper name. In 2019, only he released 6th new album. He was born Radford Hugh Perry on March 20, 1936 in Kendall, Hanover Parish. In northwestern Jamaica, his mother bestowed the pet name Lee on him. An indifferent student who disliked manual labor, he left school in his teens. His love of dancing at a local country club dance hall fired on fixation with music and led him to escape Kendall for the southern coastline town in Kingston, the hub of islands recording business in the 60s. Ladies and gentlemen, importantly, in the first year in the industry, which got a boost after Jamaican independence and British rule was declared in 1962, Perry walked amongst its pioneer, Duke Reid, Prince Buster, Clarence Ellis, Baron Lee, Bunny Lee. He spent half a decade with Coxsone Dodds, who employed him as a gopher, sound system security man, recording harp, arranger, and ultimately vocal talent. But Dodds, who found of neither Scratch Perry singing voice nor Rastafarianism, and that ultimately hastened his dispute or dispersed from the Studio One fold. His time with Gibbs was brief. As an independent, Perry worked with cross-section of supervisors in Jamaican music. He recorded DJ toasters like U-Roy, Dillinger, Dr. Alimantedo, Prince Jasbo, and Dennis Al Capone. Gift singer like Eric Donaldson, Keith Roll, Junior Delago, and Jimmy Riley, and instrumental ace like trombonist Vince Gordon and melodious wizard Augustus Pablo. His house band sported some of the island's top talent. The sibling rhythms section of bassist Aston family, Man Barrett, and drummer Clayton Barrett were prolific and always prolonging by the Wailers. It is in Perry's Black Ark sound, a distinctive murky mass of echo phasing and off-the-wall effects like Mourning Cow that grazed several memorable 70s tracks. They were Perry's most enduring, impacting in your head. His atmospheric style was adopted by acts working in electronics, trip-hop, dubstep, and modern reggae, dub and dancehall. His catalog was heavily sampled by such rappers, artists as Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Busta Rhymes. The Beastie Boys are also advocates, samplers of Perry. Further, Dr. Lee Perry is what they call him. A track on their 1998 album, Hello Nasty, even his own later day album has sometimes features sample from earlier works. It was great fun, he recalled, of collaboration. They were nice, Jewish boys, he talking about the Beastie Boys, and they were clean inside, very loving. They called me Dr. Lee PhD because they could feel that I loved them. They were very good boys, wonderful. He had similar words for Clash, saying they were listening and wanted to learn, and I could teach them what they wanted to learn. They were happy working. They were all good boys. Paul McCartney spoke of how he ended up enlisting Perry to work on a solo material by Linda Venture releasing on Wide Perry album, speaking to the impact the producer had on artists for far afield. We love early reggae, and I had the Tighten Up album Tighten Up Volume 1, 2. McCarthy said, we were hooked on reggae and we went to Jamaica. We knew Lee Perry from all that. We knew he was one of the great local guys there. There used to be a fantastic little recording shop called Tony's in Montego Bay. And you'd go in and it would just be records. I remember one of them being Lick the Pipe, and I've still got that. We love it so much that we asked Lee if we would record with us, and he did. Beyond the magic spell he wove for other artists, it is Perry's own solo album that remains his most engaging, mysterious offering to music, reggae and beyond. While many of Perry's most magnificent and mesmerizing moments were in his creepy sound-striving instrument workout and his haunting hypnotic dub effort in 1975 Revolution dub, Perry vocal recording are often doubly intriguing. While he starts singing in the late 60s, harmonizing, lending country twang to his own voice track, Tackle. Starting with 1970 Rosefish, Cali Weed and Cornbread, the first album to feature Perry as lead vocalist on every cut. He was confident enough to mix his nasal Wayne high in front of his funky, punky reggae. Moving into the 21st century, and albums such as Techno Party and Dub Master found a fresh way to vocalize over tip-hop and jungle bass rhythm. By the time Perry got 2016 Music Must Be Free, he saw himself as much as a healing artist. The people look for good vibes, good feeling. They want a cure. I am the cure. I cure them, he told Ambrose while touring behind that album. God has used me as an instrument. God went to my mother and made it rain and sent her the Holy Spirit for me to know dub, the holy dove. Have you ever heard a bird coo? A coo, a coo, a coo. Make holy dub. A coo, a coo. That's what Perry said. He saw working with computers as almost spiritual enterprise. He said, the computer is like my brother. I put my brain in the computer. I blow ganja into the computer. Why not? Though Perry ultimately relocated to semi-permanent quarters in Switzerland in the 80s and married to Campbell in 1991, brought a more modernized and peaceful time in the music and the temperance life. It was not free of calamity. Some of the chilling familiarity. In 2015, he left a candle burning at his home studio, the secret laboratory, and it was gutted by fire, destroying his unreleased master and stage robe. A documentary stated that, upset and narrated by Benicio del Toro, premiered at the SXSW Film Festival in 2008 and was released in the theater 3 years later. A second documentary, Lee Scotch Perry Vision of Paradise, came out in 2015. Still another doc came out in 2019, The Revelation of Lee Scotch Perry. Asked 5 years ago what it meant to be 80, Perry told Ambrose that consider himself Jesus' black brother. Yes, he added, if I put in nothing but good into my body, I expect to be perfect and explosion of righteousness. Perry was enigmatic to the end, telling Tapo.com in one of the latest interviews in 2020, the music is perfect. I am sure the music is perfect. I am a mystic. I am a fish. I am a chicken. Perry is survived by his wife, their 2 children, and 5 children from their previous relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take my time to say my condolences to the family, Lee Scotch Perry. Yeah, I want to say, may your soul rest in peace. Fly home, the Godfather, yes, the original general of the dub dancehall system. Yes, a great producer, a great artist. And I just want you to share this for me, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a thumbs up. I just see I took a long time, but it is necessary that we pay homage to our elders, pay homage for the trailblazers, pay homage for the ones that have made our lives so successfully, especially a man like Lee Scotch Perry, that have blazed the trail, the pioneer of reggae music. Ladies and gentlemen, may his soul rest in peace. I'm Rastafari Soldier of Deep Roots TV. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Yeah, if you want to hear the truth, yeah, subscribe. Deep Roots. More life, more joy, more life.